Welcome back to another video, guys. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for being here. No longer from beautiful Long Beach, California. No, now from spectacular Murrieta, California. Yes, I have upgraded to a bigger place and a bigger working space. I'm gonna show you all of that right now. Plus, we're gonna go into what is wrong with every single one of my vehicles right now and what I need to do so you know what videos to expect up in the coming months. Let's go. So let's start at the beginning. I no longer have a one-car garage. I now have a two-car garage. What? You know what that's like. You're moving up. You're moving up in the world when your garage space goes up. It don't matter if you live in an apartment, if you have a two-car or even a three-car garage, maybe some motorcycle parking. If you have space to put a compressor or store your wheels that you will use once you buy that one project car that, you know, it's a little bit out of your range right now and you can't find a decent one for the money that you want to pay for it, that is when you know you're doing good in the world, you're doing good in your own life, when you have space for all your crap, all your car crap. Because for a true car enthusiast, you can never let go of anything you ever have. It ain't been that long since I moved in, so nothing is really organized. Unfortunately, everything is just kind of chucked in place wherever it fits. I have to reorganize everything, hopefully put it in bins, label it. I have some wheels over here for that E30 that one day I'm gonna get back into. And then here, here is the 7 Series that right now it is fully broken. Let me tell you why. Now gather around and listen up, it's story time. But before I delve into it, I wanna make sure that everyone is clear. I am not trying to badmouth anyone. I just have to speak on the facts because what happened, happened. But in no way am I trying to throw anyone under the bus. Hey, these are the facts. I had the timing chain guides done, I think June of last year or something like that. I mean, everything was fine. I didn't have any problems, any issues, and the car was running fine. Now, the mechanic had told me while he was doing the work that one of the 3 bolts that go on the front of the valve cover, because you have nuts everywhere else, but on the very front, facing the front bumper, you have 3 bolts on each side of the valve covers. Those were kind of loose. They were not really biting because the threads that they go into, well, those threads are old, and I think, you know, they were on their way out. However, he did say that he had torqued them enough that he didn't think it was gonna be an issue. When I first did the valve cover gasket on this car, and I also made a video on that, you can check it out over here, I had run into the same problem. When I put those bolts back on, they weren't going in. It felt like they were stripped, but I was able to get enough torque on there, and then those held fine. There was no leakage, no anything. And so I let him go. He didn't know they were gonna give him an issue because when he took them out, they felt fine. Of course, because I had put some Loctite on there. I had, you know, done as much as I could to make sure that they grabbed, that they torqued down. And he did say that if he had known that and he had more time, he would have got the front covers because the threads go on 2 front covers, like timing covers, upper timing covers. And he could have replaced those while everything was out. But, you know, at that point, he had already put everything back and you know, he just kind of threw him on there and hoped for the best. But he said that they were torqued enough and if there was any issues, give him a call back. Well, I drove the car and I didn't find any issues. So I didn't notice any issues. But I think after a couple of heat cycles, they probably got loose because by the end of the year, this is like November, I noticed that those 3 were not kind of loose, they were completely loose. After this sad discovery, I started driving the car less. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't completely stop driving the car. I probably should have, but I didn't. I parked it and I started driving my wife's 128i, which I love that little thing, by the way. It's so nimble, it reminds me of my old E30. So, you know, it was a nice change of pace. Instead of driving the big boat, I started driving that car more. That's another reason why you didn't see any more videos coming out or being put out any content with this car, because it was kind of just sitting there. I didn't want to drive it too much, but like I said, I did drive it here and there. Now, I ended up going to the junkyard and I found a 7 Series. I took apart those covers and I have them. I am gonna put them on, But now the thing that just sucks is that with my schedule and with how busy I am, I don't know when I'm gonna have the time, because I have to do everything. I have to do the entire valve cover gasket again, plus I'm going to have to probably remove the radiator, remove some other things in order to get those upper timing covers that have the threads. And I did verify the ones that I got at the junkyard, the threads work just fine. So in order to install those, it's just a little bit more complicated, and it sucks. I'm not upset at the fact that, I'm not upset that the mechanic did a bad job, because he didn't. He did what he did to the best of his ability and with the time he had. I'm just upset at the fact that, I don't know, that it happened in general, that those three had to be, all three of them, so 6 of them, are completely stripped out now. I'm just upset that the car is old, I guess. And I'm upset that I don't have enough time to fix it, to work on it. I literally have worked on it probably 10 minutes by removing some stuff, by removing a couple of things, because why did it even happen? So after I moved here and I parked the car here, it threw a check engine light. And I plugged in the my reader, and this is the codes that I got. So cylinders 6, 7, and 8 were not working. Fuel was being cut off, and they were misfiring like crazy. And that's because there's oil. You can't see it, but there's oil in there. So that means that either because of these 3 at the front that are loose, oil has seeped in there, or because when they put everything back together here, they just did it wrong. And there was oil in all of those. I can show you the state of these, which is, I mean, they're in really poor state. They're completely fouled with oil, and there seems to be a lot of corrosion on them as well. And I'm not exactly sure why there's so much corrosion, but anyway, that's on the driver's side. So then I went over to the passenger side, and I found my next little surprise, which is gonna be right there. That is the valve cover being broken. That piece has broken off the valve cover, and that is where the coil pack goes on top of the spark plug. I know for a fact I've never snapped that piece off. It didn't happen on my watch, so it must have happened when the mechanic did the job. And it just, again, it sucks, because I don't know about you guys, but when a mechanic shop shows me that they can't do a job to the standards that I have, then I don't want to go back to it. So unfortunately, what's done is done. And now, as they say, if you want to get something done right, you got to get it done yourself. That's where that car is. It's just sitting for now until I get all those pieces, until I get everything situated and I can work on it. I'll probably just work on it at night after my daughter goes to sleep. It'll be one of those things where I can probably do 20 minutes at a time here and there every day or every other day or every week. And we'll just see how long it takes. But I may do some live videos, so be on the lookout for that. I'll do those late night wrenching videos. You know, they're nice and peaceful, and I can work, and maybe you guys can tag along if you want to. On to the next car. The Suzuki, the Gixxer 6er, the 600 big boy, let's go. I know that the videos that I make about this motorcycle, they don't get a lot of traction on my channel. People really like the E38, but nobody really seems to care about this. I think there's a few people that follow me because of that, because of the motorcycle, but most of you are here for the E38, and I understand that. With that said, I love this thing. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. It continues to amaze me how solid it is. If anybody's thinking about buying a Gixxer 600, this K3s, K4s, K5s, K6, I heard that all of them, the 750s, the 1000s, across the range are just super reliable, and I'm testifying on it right now because this thing has not left me stranded, has not given me any problems. I mean, I just do regular maintenance on it, and adjust the chain once in a while, and it's good. The one thing I probably do want to do at some point is going to be my clutch cable, because I have never done the clutch cable on this thing, and I don't have any records of anybody doing the clutch cable on it, so I don't want it to leave me stranded. But everything else on this bike is phenomenal. It's just, I can't say enough good things about it. And every time I want to upgrade and get a newer one, I just think about how maintenance free this thing really is. It's just amazing. On to the next car. The BMW E82, the 2009 128i with the sport package and the beautiful N52. And why is it a beautiful engine? Because that is the last engine that was naturally aspirated the BMW ever produced, and it was a hell of an engine. It won so many awards. It is reliable, it is torquey, it is easy to work on. I mean, what else do you want? It's got no Achilles heels except for what every other BMW suffers from, which is cooling components, maybe a water pump, and you know, which brings me on to what is wrong with it. Yes, you guessed it, no, not the water pump, but it threw a check engine light for the thermostat. But while you're doing a thermostat, you might as well do the water pump. So I'll be doing both of those simultaneously. But the good thing about the N52 is that when the thermostat fails, it fails open. So you really don't have to worry about much. The engine just runs a little cooler, but outside of that, it's business as usual. So be on the lookout. I'll be making one of those videos on how to replace the thermostat and the water pump soon. But outside of that, that car has not given us any problems. Now, the only other thing that the car has had, and I really haven't shared this with you, so I'll just touch on it briefly. Ever since I bought the car, the windshield has been replaced and it was not a good, proper job. At the bottom of the glass, you're supposed to have enough glass exposed, and you can't see this because there's a cowl on it, but there's enough glass exposed to pinch on or put on a piece of plastic with a track. It's called a ledge. BMW calls it some sort of windshield ledge. Upon this ledge, you clip on the top of the cowl. You clip on the cowl, and combined, this prevents water from getting into the passenger cabin. Well, that has always been an issue. Whoever did the replacement last didn't really put the ledge on, put too much urethane, too much glue on the bottom of that windshield, and now that ledge won't go back on. If you buy a new one, you just can't get it to stick on, which means that the cowl doesn't go on. This has always been an issue ever since we bought the car, and for most of its life, that car actually does get garaged. But now, with this new place, we've actually left the car outside a little bit more because it's safer in here. And lo and behold, it rained and the whole car got flooded. And I just hope that there's no rust under that carpet. I dried it up as much as I could, but it was a real bummer because if water gets in, the way that the car is designed, it can actually hit the ECU. And if it hits the ECU, that's a whole nother can of worms that I do not want to experience or even open. So for now, that car is gonna have to be garaged for the time that it's here during winter. But I need to get that done. It should be about 150 bucks to have a shop pull the glass without breaking it and then redo it properly so that we can get some good water sealage. But we'll see. It's been like that forever and we've just kind of lived around it. And lastly, the BMW X5, which thank the Lord, nothing has gone wrong with it. The turbos are working fine. My valve cover replacement that I did on it a while back has been working just fine. Everything's been great on that car, and as well it should be. That's where I put my baby in. That should be the safest car, the newest car, the car with the least amount of problems, that I'm not afraid of it breaking down, and that's the one that we travel with. So I just wanted to throw that in there. Not that a lot of people really care about the X5 on this channel. Like I said, most of you are here for the E38, and I get that, but it is a car in my fleet, so everything is good with it. No worries, no problems. And I couldn't end this video without saying thank you. Yes, to everybody that has watched, that has left a comment, that has engaged, that has made YouTube, the algorithm, notice me. Please notice me, senpai. that has made that happen, because I haven't been uploading like I used to. However, my subscribers have kept on going up. So my channel has actually been doing better than it used to. And I just think that's, again, a testament to everybody that has stayed with me, that has shown me support, and that has definitely clicked and shared my videos. So thank you guys so much for hanging in there. It just makes me more pumped up to start delivering content again, to start shooting things, to start having fun again with the channel like I used to, but not quite yet. Just hang in there, and I promise I will deliver like I always do. Thank you so much for staying till the very end of the video. Please, again, if you liked it, share it with a friend, consider subscribing, or simply leave a comment down below. And until next time, I will see you on the next video.